Hello everyone, my name is Krishna and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we have Kai and hello Kai.
Hello.
Yeah, so Kai is from Portland, Oregon, US, and he is doing his bachelor degree in political science. So Kai, my first question is what do you think about Gujarat Vidyapeeth and what do you like about Gujarat Vidyapeeth?
So, namaste. My name is Kai. Gujarat Vidyapeeth is. Oh, I guess I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's a nice school. They're really nice people here. And it's my first time studying in a religious school, so it's a little different. They have some different rules here that maybe I'm not the biggest fan of.
Yeah.
But I can tell that the teachers really care,
Yeah.
and they know a lot about Gandhi specifically, at least in my department. They're quite good at their job.
Yeah.
And then also this campus is just like beautiful. It's a
Beautiful,
very nice campus. There's so much life on it. There's so many trees.
Yeah.
The air is really clean too compared
Yeah.
to outside.
Outside, yeah.
Which I really enjoy. I appreciate.
Yeah.
I mean, I still wear a mask because of all the burning and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's still far better than just outside, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Okay, that's great, Kai. So my next question is that what do you think about Gandhian philosophy? Like, as you are studying here since 4 months, so what do you think about Gandhian philosophy?
For me, I think that it's a really important thing to learn.
Yeah.
I don't think that everyone can follow it.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's for everyone. But I do think that being here has really kind of opened my eyes to alternative options in reference to how you can live your life.
Yeah.
And so Gandhian philosophy to me is just a good alternative way to live your life. Not necessarily you have to do everything that he says.
Yeah.
Some of the things, I mean, I personally can just not follow. Like, for instance, I like to eat meat.
Yeah.
You know, that's just not gonna apply to me. But
Yeah.
the goal of Gandhian philosophy is, I think, respectable.
Yeah.
And I think anybody should, you know, at least learn a little bit about it to respect that style.
Yes.
Because there's nothing better than, you know, making friends with your
Yeah.
enemies. Like, we don't have enemies, really.
Yeah,
Essentially,
yeah.
is the point.
Yes, yes.
And you know, treating others with that respect and kindness.
Yes.
And your environment as well too. I mean, he cares a lot about the way that we treat our environment.
Yes.
And you know, about sanitation and stuff. And I
Yes,
think
yes.
those are all very important things that we should be focusing on. That we're not.
Yes.
And so I think that really is the benefit of Gandhian philosophy, and I think that there's a lot to be learned there for us. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. We all believe in Gandhian philosophy, and in everywhere, in every country, we have that Gandhian philosophy, and it's Gandhiji was that person that everyone thinks that he was a great person, and he did so much for everyone, not his not our India, but he did for everyone, and he believe in non-violence, and it's in this century we have to believe in some of his ideas. So yeah, Gandhi ji was very great, and we should follow some his philosophy. Yeah. So my next question is that how do you relate this Gandhian philosophy to local problems?
So I come from the United States, and so Gandhi is a pretty important person in terms of our non-violent history.
Yes.
So, like Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes.
was pretty heavily inspired by Gandhi, and
Yes.
Jesus is very important to a lot of people in the States, and he's very also non-violent. So Gandhi has some serious, historical context in the
Yeah.
United States.
Yes.
And for me, I would like to kind of bring some of that back.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to be Martin Luther King Jr. or Gandhi, but it would be
Yeah.
nice to live in, a world where I'm not so concerned about my safety all the time,
Yeah.
because the United States can be dangerous,
Yeah.
depending on where you are. It's not always the kindest place. We face, discrimination as well.
Yes.
Like we have a lot of issues with racial
Yeah.
and class discrimination in the States.
Yeah.
And that was not something that Gandhi was a fan of.
Yeah.
And so seeing how he helped to, improve the situations here in India,
Yeah.
I think is something that we should be trying to do locally, and nationwide. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say exactly what I would do with it, but there's nothing better than taking inspiration from a good source, though. So
Yeah. That's great, Kai. So my next question is that what do you think about India? Like, have you visited any places in India, and like, what is your perspective about India as a country?
So I have visited outside of Ahmedabad. I visited Rajasthan. So I visited Jodhpur and Udaipur.
Yeah.
So Jodhpur is the blue city, and
Yes.
I really, really liked Jodhpur.
Yeah.
It was really easy to walk the city,
Yeah.
and that's something that I don't have a lot of in the States.
Yeah.
And so I got to explore that city, and it was super pretty. The fort, there's a giant fort in the center of Jodhpur,
Yeah.
very beautiful. The people were pretty nice.
Yes.
They had some cool stuff. They had some cool markets.
Yeah.
And it was just a good experience to walk the streets, because Jodhpur is very different than
Yeah.
Ahmedabad.
And
And,
Ahmedabad and Gujarat.
yeah, but it's, just because it's different doesn't mean it's not
Yeah.
great. And then Udaipur was also very, very pretty. The
Yeah.
lakes were really nice. Again, the shops, they had lots of cool shops. And the people were also very, very, very nice.
Yeah.
I enjoyed walking around. I mean, that's like basically my favorite thing to do in India is to walk those streets and see what people are doing with their life. Like, this is just a different way of living, and I
Yeah.
like to appreciate that. And the best way to see that is just to walk.
Yeah.
And so that's I think my favorite thing to do here.
Yeah. So Kai has visited so many places in India, and he had very great experience. So my next question is that, like, what do you like in Gujarat and like Ahmedabad?
Yeah, Gujarat and Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
So in Gujarat, I have visited Polo Forest.
Yes.
Polo Forest is very, very nice.
Yeah.
I hiked up one of the mountains. I can't remember which.
Yeah.
It was a very, very nice hike. The forest itself is really pretty,
Yeah.
and the like the rivers and stuff up there. The air is clean, and
Yeah.
I can really appreciate that. And those villages are also very just enjoyable to be in. Like they're quiet. And the people don't really talk to you, which I can appreciate sometimes. Is to get that peace and quiet. And as for Ahmedabad, I'm losing my voice here.
Yeah. It's
Sorry,
okay.
it's a little smoky.
Yeah. It's
But Ahmedabad, I spent a lot of time in Ahmedabad, 4 months.
yeah.
and,
It's been 4 months.
I've been to a lot of places, a lot of mosques, a lot of temples, both of which I enjoyed very much. Because again, the mosques and temples are just very quiet in the
Yeah,
city,
very
and
quiet,
that's I find myself looking for that because this city is a lot louder than mine.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I like to just sit in quiet. And then the markets here are very fun. I've been to the markets many times. Law Garden,
Yeah.
the old city market.
Yeah.
Those are just great to walk around, and they have some nice things. Um, and all the people that I met in Ahmedabad are very nice.
Yes.
I haven't really had any issues with anybody. So
Yeah. So, as Kai has told that he has visited many places and markets and so many places in Ahmedabad. So he had a great experience in Ahmedabad. So my next question is that what are the difference between your culture and my culture?
that is a good question. So there's a lot of things. First and foremost, I think the history is one thing that'll just change everything. I mean, you guys have so much history here.
Yeah.
Like something that we just don't have in the States. The United States are like 300 years old, you know, and you guys have temples and mosques here that are older than my entire country.
Yeah.
And
true.
that's insane. Like there's so much value and richness in that we're missing, which really sucks. But you know, you can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
But you guys are very like a collective.
Yeah, collective.
So we're super individualistic in the United States.
Yeah.
I would nobody, you know, ever comes up and talks to me randomly.
Yeah.
Like nobody asks for pictures, nobody asks for interviews. Like that just doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because I'm a normal person there, but
Yeah.
we do things kind of on our own, and so it's really nice to see what it's like to do things, you know, as a group.
Yeah.
And together. I mean, I'll walk the streets at night and I'll see people sitting, you know, around and talking, and that's just not something that I have seen a lot from where I'm from.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot of value in that. Not to say that it'll work for everyone, but
Yeah.
it's just so nice to see this community.
Yeah.
And even on campus too. I mean, we were just talking about earlier, you know, everybody talks, everybody, you know, gossips, you know, knows one another very well, and
Yeah.
and I don't know that that's necessarily the case in the States. And then your guys' approach, at least in Gujarat, to meat is very different.
Yeah.
If it walks and it's not too cute, we'll eat it. But you know, here, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but it's just not as accepted.
Yeah.
And then, the religious aspect is a little different. I think the polytheistic,
Yeah.
which is not quite as common in the States, where you believe in multiple gods, is just a different perspective on life, I think. And so culturally, that really like affects
Yeah.
you, and you have more of I think an appreciation for life
Life.
than you know, your average American citizen.
Yeah.
And I'm a little jealous of that. But yeah.
Yeah. So that's great. And my next and last question is that are you religious, and how do you feel about religion?
So I am not religious
Yeah.
at all. I am agnostic, so I don't necessarily believe in anything, but I also don't believe that there's necessarily going to be nothing.
Yeah.
I just try to keep my mind open, because there's just so much
You believe
variety.
in reality.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much going on every single day for each
Yeah.
of us, and so for me to try and find a god that may or may not exist, I just don't have time,
Yeah.
you know, and I would rather focus on helping somebody, helping myself,
Yeah.
and also I often find myself
Yeah.
thinking, like, even if there was a god, I would potentially prefer not to believe in one because I don't like the idea of people making choices for me.
Yeah.
I like to be free and my own individual person, and that's like a really big thing in the States.
Yeah.
And so that might be where that comes from. But as for how do I feel about religion,
Yeah.
this place has actually really helped me appreciate it a little bit more. In the States, it's very, very different. Religious people are very different, and not. I don't always get along with some of them, but it's nice to be out here and see like the alternative
Yeah.
approaches that you can take to the same religion, right? Like Islam and Christianity is really not so different, and to see it from a different angle and to appreciate that
Yeah.
people are so different and yet at the same time is worth a lot.
Yeah.
And to really see like the Hindu religion up close
Yes.
has given me appreciation to the fact that polytheism is totally like
Yeah.
normal, like and from where I'm from you don't see it really ever, and so to see it every day and to see the effect that it has on people, I think really makes me appreciate this
Yeah.
thing that I hadn't really appreciated before, especially with Gandhi too.
Yeah.
And truth is God and God is truth. It phrases it in a way in which is easier for me to agree with and to appreciate. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah, so we had like a very nice conversation with Kai, and I think we had some noise in background, so you can avoid it and just focus on our healthy conversation. Yeah, and thank you, Kai,
Yeah, of
for
course.
this
Thank you for
nice
having me.
interview. And if I make any mistake, please let it go, because I'm learning and I'm practicing. Yeah, so watch this video, and thank you for watching this video.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.